What I'm saying is, why are you paying her rent and her
because she lost her job and she's behind on the rent, and she stays with and he has my son, and I'm gonna make sure he's straight. I'm not gonna have my son out on the street.
I'm not saying he's gonna be on the street. If she knew how to take care of y'all's kid, then he wouldn't be on the street.
Yeah, but it takes two people to take care of a kid.
I realize that, but this is like cutting into us, and I'm really not feeling this.
You're not feeling me taking care of my son, basically.
No, you're taking care of your son, but why don't you bring your son to your house so she could pay her own rent?
Because she's the one that has custody of him, and she's the one that's been taking care of him all this time.
Well, then now y'all need to find a way to split custody or something, because it's cutting into us, and I don't like it.
When it cut into us more, if he was actually staying with me. Exactly.
Man, hell no, man.
Yeah.
Dang, man, get on up out of here with that bullshit, man. Ain't nobody finna you. I wouldn't blame. Man, she still there? Is she still there?
Who still there?
The woman.
With the man?
Yeah.
So
that'd be my question.
She should leave the man?
Hell yeah. Man,
why?
No.
I think the problem here is the man should leave her.
The problem here is it sound like some bullshit. That's what it sound like.
Nah.
That's all it sound like.
I don't see it that way. If he know this girl has fallen on hard time and she's taking care of his child, their stability and well-being is important if he cares about his child. So I don't see nothing wrong with him offering assistance. Now, if it's an all-time, every time you look around thing, that's something different, but if this is the man you want to be with and you're trusting him, why are you disputing him on that? What's going on that would give you any other signs? And she's selfish. Oh, this cutting into us cutting into you for what? You telling me to neglect my son well-being so that you can be taken care of? Man, I ain't with that. My question is, why is he still with her? Why is he choosing her? Because that means every time he makes a decision that she disagrees with, this is what he gonna get. This is what he has to get. Listen, if the man is treating you right, the man is making sure your needs are being met, why are you questioning that he wants to help her out? Everybody falls on hard time, and his son's well-being depends on how well his mother is. And the way she's sounding, she don't want to take care of his son. So if I go get my son and bring my son in, I would question how you're treating my son. No, he need to get rid of her. And see, he gonna go in on and stay and choose that fool. And then he gonna be wondering why he having problems down the line because he done went and chose her. Listen, if you want me to leave, and matter of fact, I wouldn't even told her. But the mere fact that he told her means I respect what me and you have enough to let you know I'm doing this. Because I ain't had to tell you shit. And listen at her. It's cutting into minds.
You can't run two houses.
It's not running two houses. Come on now. Come on, Kevin.
Listen here. If he could get the child, the son can come stay with him for a couple weeks till she get back on her feet. It's simple as that. The kid can come stay with him for a while and allow her to get back up on her feet. Because if she got the kid there, she got to worry about the kid eating, got to worry about the kid's clothing, got to worry about the kid's transportation. No, I'll take care of all that stuff. You go get yourself a good job. You might have to stay at your mama's house. You might have to stay at your cousin's house or whatever. You get back up on your feet, and then the kid can come back and stay with you. But all this here paying rent, hell no. That's bullshit. And she know that's bullshit. And if I was a woman, I ain't going for that foolishness.
Nah, that could be a one-time occurrence.
You probably still over there messing with that woman, trying to pay for two houses, trying to use the kid. You trying to use the kid as a go-between. That's all that is. That's all it. Because he could either say, "Hey," because the woman asked him, "Why can't the kid come stay?" Well, he been with her all the time. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't like
no. That's not what he replied to her. You're complaining about it, this cutting into us. If he was with us all the time, don't you think that would be cutting into us? That's a bigger responsibility.
No,
That's what he asking her. Are you ready to handle that?
no,
Yeah.
you paying
Come
a
on.
whole rent. Dad, that's a responsibility. That's a
He's helping her out.
responsibility.
He's
Nah,
helping
man.
her out.
Come on,
And
dang.
he's choosing not to
Hey, listen,
uproot
hey,
his son
I
with
ain't
his
gonna
way
tell
of
you not
life.
to do it. I ain't gonna tell you not to do it. I'm just not finna do it.
Well, I mean,
I'm
every
just not
man
finna
is
do it.
different.
And
Every
if I
man
was a
is going
woman,
to move
I wouldn't even
differently.
be trying to. I wouldn't be with no dude doing all that now.
Every man is trying to
Baby
move
mama,
differently. But I'm saying if a dude is
That
willing
shit
to
headed
make
for disaster right off the bat.
well, it's
That's
the
what
way
that
you
shit
see it.
headed
Her
at.
reaction is also a disaster to me because if
That shit
he's
headed
willing
for
to keep
disaster
his
right off the
son
bat.
in the environment that he's willing to be in, then that's fine. A woman knows if a man is moving differently. He just said, she's falling short on the rent. I'm gonna pay the rent so that my son will have a place to stay and he can remain in the environment that he's been in. That's what he's saying.
I ain't paying no rent.
Well, I mean, that's to each his own. Every man feel a
My
certain
kid
way.
gonna stay
But
with
like
me.
I said, if the stability ain't there, and he definitely don't look like he's in a position to take the little boy in, because that's a big responsibility. Because if you work certain hours, you have certain things to do, then how are you going to get the child to school and get him home and get him fed? And the way she talking, she ain't going to be willing to help him.
Shit, she ain't gonna be able to do it either.
Sure.
Don't look like
So at the bottom line, if your solution ain't if you ain't got a solution, then if the man say, I am going to take care of this that my son can remain in the environment that he was in, I'm going to do this, then that's fine. Because guess what? He did not have to tell her. That's the main thing.
I guess if she needed a little extra change, I would do that. But damn sure would make this a habit. And that young lady probably looking at it like this here. You starting some shit, you starting something, and this shit ain't gonna stop once you start it.
But that's not what she said. She said selfishly it's cutting into me.
It is cutting into her.
And I don't feel that.
Shit. It
so
is.
You make me making
your baby mama rent.
Nah, a man. First of all, like I said,
what if you meet a man and he paying his baby mama rent?
I ain't got a problem with it. As long as he taking care of me, I ain't got a problem with it at all.
That's what she say. You hear what you just said. Repeat what you just. No. Repeat what you just said.
She say, I feel like it's gonna cut into me.
No. Repeat what you just said. You don't have a problem long as he taking care of you. Right. Well, what did the woman say? It's cutting into her. So obviously, he ain't taking care of her.
Maybe so, but you asked me. You asked me how I would feel, and I'm saying
that's
long as our house ain't suffering, I don't mind him paying her rent.
That's what the woman's saying.
But on the second side of that, I don't mind if he have his kid, because I wouldn't feel like his kid is an intrusion on our life. I got him.
You adding all kind of ingredients to
well, you're doing the same thing. And the bottom line is, I don't think a kid should be away from their mama. And he didn't have to tell her. So with that being said, he thought enough of their relationship to share this with her, and this is her reaction.
But on a serious note, that shit ain't finna work though.
Well,
that's not gonna work.
To each his own.
That shit ain't gonna work. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you why. Women generally women don't like that. Generally, they don't go for that, and that's a real deep issue. That's the old saying, like, man, you got like a 40% chance of a woman taking you back, or 30% chance of a woman taking you back if you're just having sex with a woman, and that's all it is. It's just sex. But when you start buying the women different things and paying light bills and rent, she might say she gonna go along with it at first, but after a while, that's gonna be a problem.
Man,
that's gonna be a problem.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's gonna be a problem. And to be honest with you, she basically being honest up front, because she know it's gonna be a problem.
I don't know what to tell you, but I've been a single mother and I've been out there. And if I needed my rent to be paid, yeah, I would have called my baby daddy with the quickness. If I was struggling, he would have got a phone call. He would have got a phone call. So I'm just saying, I look at it from the other point of view. If me and my child need our roof over our head and I ran, as all people do, I'm not saying this should be a every all the time thing, but people tend to run into situations where they need help. And then it might have took everything inside of that woman to have to call him and ask him to do that for her and her son. So I'm not in disagreement that he shouldn't pay her rent. And I would never be with a man and tell him what he's doing for his children, that what he would do through the route of his baby mama that's going to benefit his children, he shouldn't do it. I'm never going to do that. And if I got the money and he don't have it, I'm going to help him make sure it happens. As long as it ain't no funny crap going on, I'm 100% saying that people need help. If this is a woman who wasn't doing this all the time, she's not creating problems, and she calls him up and say, I'm short and I'm not going to be able to make the rent for me and the boys, I'm going to tell him, pay her rent, babe. Pay her rent for her.
Well, by the video, it says woman is upset. Her boyfriend is paying his baby mama's rent.
Correct.
So what if it's a circumstances where you pay it in November, she needed it in December, she needed it in January, she needed it in February. Then what you gonna say?
Okay, so what about the situations where men have been married and divorced from these women and they still are responsible for the house note?
Oh,
You ain't gonna be with the man because he gotta do that? Man, that makes no sense. And he didn't have to tell her.
They still responsible? You talking about when they get put out the house or something, or they leave the house and they still
Yeah,
paying?
and the judge.
Oh yeah, I see. Nah, hey, I ain't listen. I'm looking at it
That's
from
crazy.
I'm looking at it from the woman's point, where she coming from.
Well,
And
I mean, she could be looking at it, but the whole bottom line.
I seen dudes do that. I ain't
First
finna
of
do it,
all,
though.
first of all, she's only a girlfriend. She not a fiance and she not a wife. She only a girlfriend. And he didn't have to tell her. So the mere fact that he told her he was going to do it meant that I respect you enough not to hide nothing from you. So I'm letting you know that I need to do this.
She could have found out.
Whatever. And that means she digging. That's a sign. When she only started talking about herself, I mean, whatever. I mean, to each his own. If that works for him and he likes a woman like that and looking out for herself and all this stuff, oh, the kid can come stay with you. Are you going to be there to take care of the kid? You want to pull a child from their mama? Come on.
And then, what's the reason why you can't pay your rent? That'd be the first question.
None of that has anything to do with it. The
Yeah.
man has spoken as a man something he's going to do.
Yeah.
And as long as he is treating you correctly and he's just telling you this is what he's going to do, because it don't matter what she think or what she say, listening to that brother, he going to pay that rent. Now, either she want to stick around, she can. If she want to leave, he okay with that. Either way it go, he okay with it. He's standing up